Well, hello.
Oh. Hola.
Hey, baby girl.
What up, handsome?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty goddamn good. Chilling.
Excellent. Hello to everybody out there.
Hello to everyone in internet and podcast land.
Ooh, hello.
We have returned this week.
We
Episode
have.
4.
Yeah, bitch.
First episode of 2020.
Yeah.
First episode of the new decade. It's weird saying that, right? Like,
It-
we're getting old.
Yeah, well, yeah. But that's aside from the point.
Yeah, so, I'm pretty damn stoked to kick this off. We're going to do a nice little, what do we have in store for them today? Nice little recap, as it were,
yes.
of our games.
Oh, yes. The best
last-
games of the 2010's decade.
And believe me, when
Some
I
bangers.
say, one, it's some bangers, but two, goddamn, was this difficult as shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And might I also say while we're here, Dizzle, you sound fantastic today.
Oh, well, thank you. It's, mostly because I have this really sweet, handsome, thick daddy, as it were, that
Ooh.
totally helped me hook up some new audio.
Ooh. He sounds very
no.
attractive.
Yeah, I'm running, no longer on that Blue Yeti, Blackout Edition. I'm on that Blue,
Ooh, the penis edition.
yes, the Phallic Edition, as it were.
It were.
But yeah, no, it's a thing, and it's fantastic. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm actually really impressed with how it came out for the kind of the price it was. And I believe this is one of the mics you were talking about on the last episode.
Yep.
So,
Yep, that's one of the ones that I mentioned was super fucking good. That came out in 2019. It was released January of 2019, and it's Blue's first real attempt at like a commercial XLR mic, and it's fucking great.
it really is. Like I've been nothing but impressed with it with the few days I've had. And we're running it through. What mixer did you get again?
It's a Scarlett Solo.
I believe that wasn't the Scarlet on like our holiday list.
Yeah, it's almost
Yeah.
like the recommendations that I make to you guys are worth something. Almost.
Look at that. Would you look at us?
Almost.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Not me.
No, definitely not. Not me either.
So, with that being said,
Well, before we get too far, in addition to the recap of our best games of the 2010s, we're also going over some of the leaks, some of the some of the announcements, and then our predictions for CES this week. CES 2020 starts tomorrow? And
I believe so, yeah.
no, Tuesday. It's Tuesday through Friday.
oh, it's too, yeah.
And there's a whole bunch of cool shit coming. A whole lot of pointless shit coming that's like
Well,
practically useless. Like useless for practical purposes, I mean. But it's still fucking cool.
I mean, they've been. That's kind of CES's bread and butter, man. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, their bread and butter is still TVs. Like, that's kind of like.
And phones
CES
more
bread-
recently.
Yeah.
And there
But, like,
was a hint that they were releasing some kind of sex bot stuff at CES this year. Not releasing, but announcing some kind of sex bot stuff. So you know.
Ooh. So, I'm all into the sex bot stuff.
It's true, he is.
Like, thinking VR integration, sex bots, can't go wrong.
Yeah. Let me see if I can figure out what's going on with this audio thing.
Audio thing.
Oh yeah, apparently we're getting double audio.
What?
Yeah. Who knew? There we go. I think I fixed it. So yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, CES is a consumer electronics show. which it's where they announce new TVs, new phones, all kinds of cool shit every year for magical, sexual, wonderful things.
My audio is now broken.
Oh, I can hear you fine. I only hear one of you.
You only hear one of me?
Yeah.
Well, I hear none of me.
Say hello to everybody.
Hello to everybody.
If they can't hear you, something's wrong. Yeah, Dizzle and I are actually going to be announcing our sex bots coming out at CES2021. So be on the lookout for that.
Damn it, Krusnik, we told you not to leak that information.
Yeah, if any of you guys have ever wanted to bone me or Dizzle, then, you know, you have to provide your own Cheez-It boxes. But it's a small price to pay for the chance to sleep with this glory.
Box of Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
You too can get on these thighs.
Oh my. So, tell us a little about your top 10 games of the 2010s, Dizzle. And buckle up, boys and girls, because I watched him put this list together, and it was...
This is a couple days worth of work, okay?
And, it was something.
You know, at first I was like, this is a great idea. We should do our top games of the decade. And I realized I play a lot of fucking games.
Yeah.
And it made it really hard. So we're going to do my top 20. But I'm only going to actually really talk about my top 10. But I'm going to list my top 20.
Go on.
So, really, honestly, 20 through 11 are really no particular order. They're just great fucking games. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is number.
Lame.
Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta 2, Darkest Dungeon, Path of Exile.
Path of Exile sucks.
Ori and the Blind Forest, Marvel Spider-Man, Skyrim, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, Final Fantasy 15. That's numbers 11 through 20. Now to the top 10. Number 10, Control.
Okay. That one just barely made it under the wire, too.
Well, so, alright, so this is... There's very few games on that, like, really the only ones that I am for sure, like, this is it, are 1 through 3 are, like, my guaranteed, I know these are 1 through 3.
Okay.
4 through 10, honestly, I could rework them in any direction and I'd be fine with. They'd be on my top 10 list.
Okay.
But Control, like the gameplay, the graphics, the story, everything about it just had me completely enthralled, and just it was fantastic. And it was a nice little tech demo too, but
Okay.
for that, and sexy ray tracing.
Ooh.
And then right under that, Red Dead Redemption. Not Red Dead Redemption 2. Red Dead Redemption, the first one, in 2010.
I heard that game was a real pog camp.
Super Pog.
Pogarino.
No, I Red Dead Redemption 2 is fantastic all around. The world was fun to explore. The challenges were great. I had a fucking blast with the story. It was a spaghetti western as hell, and I love me a good western. And the ending really, like, I mean, it just kind of sealed the deal for, like, this was solid as hell. And
I can confirm that Dizzle loves spaghetti westerns, because every time we make love, he makes me say, "It's high noon." Do what you will with that information.
I hate you. Number 8, which, to be honest with you, I actually had at number 10 for a long time. And again, 4 through 10 are really any spot I'm fine with, but God of War, like the 2018 like God of War, for them to take an established franchise already and completely rework it and kind of turn it into something else was just fantastic. And it was a great, I mean, it looked fantastic, it played really well, the story was actually like really, really damn good. Just everything about that game was super solid.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it was kind of a more sandboxy approach too. Like you could approach certain things. Like you had the main quest, but then you had your fun little side shit you could do.
Yep.
Like fighting Valkyries and stuff like that. Which, you know, again, to take an established franchise, which was known for
Hack and slash, basically.
Devil May Cry style, just speedy ridiculousness combat, and take it and just kind of flip it all over on their head, still retain those hack and slash elements and that, but brought it up to more of a visceral, like you just felt the combat when you're fighting. Plus, one of the most satisfying things in the world is when you throw the axe, right? And you're like, oh yeah, and you're just punching the shit out of someone, and then you just summon the axe back, and boom, Kratos catches that shit. You just keep wailing on stuff.
The best part, or probably the most fun that I had of like trolling like the little Draugr little fucks, was like throwing the axe and missing, and then like moving a little bit, and then pulling the axe back to me, and it knocked their legs out from under them, and they'd fall on the fucking ground. Dude, I never got tired of that.
they did a hell of a job on that game, and you know, I would love to see them kind of continue with the current story arc. Maybe a new trilogy of God of War games would be fantastic. Number 7, Batman Arkham City. I mean, it's the fucking, just the ultimate Batman game. Like, Arkham Asylum was fantastic, right? Like, it puts you in the shoes of being, like, the Dark Knight. Like, there's the detective mode stuff, but it was still a relatively confined game. Like, it had its smaller areas, but it was all confined to kind of, like, a smaller map. Then you get into Arkham City, and this sequel was, chef's kiss. So good.
The highly sought after Dizzle's chef's kiss of approval.
It's true, but I mean,
can we get it one more time for the people? And from the side in slow motion. Beautiful.
The expansion on the map, but yeah, the expansion to the map, the larger sandbox to kind of explore and really be like the Batman, right? Like you're just out there, the encounters, the stories, the little side quests, meeting different enemies, the ending, just everything about Arkham City seals what it is to be like the perfect almost superhero / Batman game. Like the combat, everything about it, just so good. And if you've not played it, like, just why? What the fuck's wrong with you? Like,
I haven't played it.
Well, we know you played 10 games in 10 years. Like, fantastic. Your list was easy. Shut up.
But I played them a lot.
I hate you so much. But like, Arkham City did for, like, basically Rocksteady in the Arkham games did for Batman what the Marvel Spider-Man game has done for Spider-Man. Like, it's just the perfect Batman game. So the next on the list, Resident Evil 2 remake.
Oh, go on.
That was making it. I mean, they took something that was already near and dear to my heart, which was Resident Evil 2, added to the story, remade it, and then they're the same engine they made Resident Evil 7 with, their RE engine, and it was scary as shit again. It was, the story expanded, was fantastic to learn a little more. I mean, just graphically, it was beautiful.
Graphically, you're beautiful.
Wise, it was back to being Resident Evil, right? Like, just like having those moments where you're like, this is bullshit. I need this fucking healing item, but I also need this ammo, and I have no inventory space. What the fuck am I gonna sacrifice? and then you die. It doesn't matter what you do because you come around the corner and a liquor or Mr. X just fucking gives it to you, you know, because X is gonna give it to you all game long. Oh God, it's so beautiful. Such a beautiful game. Number 5.
Number 5.
Devil May Cry 5. What is there to say? It is
A bitchin' soundtrack.
It's Devil May Cry in all its ridiculous fucking glory. It is just over the top, crazy bullshit antics. The story's actually really fun. They made, it really solidified the series as a whole coming back and being just like Capcom coming back and being like, yo, don't forget about us. We cap gods though. And they just dropped like the penultimate action game. And yeah, I mean, it's fucking phenomenal. If you're an Xbox owner and you have the Game Pass, it's on Game Pass right now. So you can literally, if you have Xbox Game Pass, download that shit and play it. You're already paying for the Game Pass. Have fun.
How much is Game Pass?
I think it's like, I think it starts at like $7.99 a month or something like that. I don't know. I have like $15 a month one or whatever, but
okay.
I got it when it was a deal. I don't actually have to pay for my Game Pass until like 2022 because of like where my gold subscription, I just renewed my gold subscription and then I switched over to Game Pass. So like the Game Pass, and then they have like the Ultimate, which is $15 a month, which is for your you can play the Game Pass on PC, like Game Pass games on PC and on Xbox.
Oh, nice. That's pretty. Yeah. I might have to check that out.
It's definitely worth it.
I don't play shit. I haven't played shit on my Xbox in so long.
Oh, Devil May Cry 5, so good. Like characters, even the new characters they introduced, like Nico. I mean, fucking Nero is now like solidified as like the hero, right? Like they transitioned away from kind of Dante had his run. He's back in this game, but now it's like they're kind of pushing Nero as the main character, which is really nice because in 4, Nero's like he's a fun character, but he was kind of like a throwaway. Here, it really solidifies him as like a solid like hero character, and it's just fucking fun. The soundtrack, graphically, it's beautiful. Just play it, fucking play it. It's a 10. A fucking 10.
All right, there, Billy Bob.
Number 4. Mass Effect 2. Yeah. You know why?
Nope.
Because it's Mass Effect motherfucking 2.
Never got into Mass Effect.
Yeah, well, again, you don't know how to play good games, so shut up. Mass Effect 2 took a fun story, like a story and kind of lore and everything being built from the first one, simplified some of the over-the-top RPG elements of the first game, has great combat. Graphically, it was a beautiful game. It actually still doesn't look too bad now. I mean, it was released in 2013. It's 6.5, 7 years old. It still looks pretty decent. But the biggest thing with Mass Effect 2 was the character interaction between your character and your crewmates, and even all the people you interacted with throughout the story, doing some of the side quests and everything, like the building of your team, the building that camaraderie up to the point where your teammates trust you and you actually go out and do what they had in there called loyalty missions, which then unlocks even more kind of options for you going forward, be it romance options or and a lot of that plays into the end game of Mass Effect 2, where when you start kind of the final mission, depending on choices you've made throughout the game, loyalty missions you've completed, kind of strength of bonds with certain characters affect how the end of like your ending plays out, which it's kind of BioWare at its fucking peak.
But can you bang aliens?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I made sure to do it. I did a playthrough to make sure I bedded every crewmate. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%. But it's easily one of the best RPGs of the last decade. Better than any trash ass Final.
You shut the fuck up. Blasphemy.
Number 3.
How dare you?
Number 3 kind of came out of nowhere, to be honest with you, and I've loved every fucking playthrough I've ever done on it, and it is Nier Automata. It's Platinum Games combat perfected. It is.
You've just got a raging mega boner for Platinum, though.
I do. And if you play their games, you would understand why.
Have I played any of their games?
It'd be hard to do. You haven't played Nier?
No, I haven't played Nier. Have I played any Platinum games? I don't know studios the way Dizzle does.
Vanquish, so. Bayonetta. No. Yeah, I didn't think so.
Nope. None of the above.
Yeah. But everything about Nier Automata was fantastic, right? So Nier had a game release previous console generations, which was it was an interesting game. Just it had its technical difficulties and wasn't a platinum game. So it was fun. It built a cult following. Nier also ties into the Drakengard series, which is, again, it's another kind of interesting but technically sort of flawed games. Then Nier Automata released, and it's the combat, the world of it's really fucking cool. Just the story. There's 26 different endings to the game.
God damn.
The majority of them are kind of funny bullshit endings. Like,
is it fucking Chrono Trigger?
Android, huh?
I said, was it fucking Chrono Trigger?
It's superior to Chrono Trigger in every way.
Whoa.
Yeah, I said it.
Let's not say anything stupid here.
No, it's
fuck you, buddy.
It's like 26 different endings. Some of them are fucking ridiculously stupid. Like there's one because you can fish in the game, and any game you can fish in automatically is top tier for me. But you catch a fish, and if you, as the android, you eat the fish, the oil degrades your parts and you die, and that's one of the endings. It literally ends with you saying the game basically saying you're an idiot. We told you not to eat that fish. Like, don't eat fish. Like,
spoiler alert, bro.
I'll get over it. It's been out for a couple years now. Fuck off. But no, it's fantastic. The way the story plays out across multiple playthroughs is really cool, because you play the game from 2B's perspective to start the game, but then you can also run through the game as kind of as our partner 9S, but then there's also another playthrough you can do as A2, and as you play through the games, depending on certain quests and what you do, ties everything together in a certain way, depending, like, I don't want to get too spoilery because I don't want to be that guy, but the way everything ties together is really fantastic. And then,
did it tickle your penis?
Oh yeah, no, it does. So much booty. I played the whole game. If you hold your thumbsticks down, you self-destruct, and then when you respawn, you're just running around in your thong bodysuit. So 2B just has her thong bodysuit on and nose dress, and it's all cheeks, and I swear to God, that's some of the best butt animations I've ever seen in a video game. Like, just bravo.
Better than Dead or Alive?
Well, Dead or Alive is not really known for their butt physics so much as their bouncing plot.
Right.
Number 2.
Titties.
The Witcher 3.
Ooh.
Which I am currently streaming to. And I'm gonna throw this out there. Full disclosure: I've never beaten the goddamn game, and that's right. It's number 2 on my top games of the decades list. I've played through this game multiple times to the point, different points in each playthrough. I played it when it first launched, when I was really heavy on my Xbox, and then just IRL stuff got in the way. I never came back to it. When I tried to come back to it, I was kind of lost because there's just so much shit to do. Had it on my PlayStation, so I started a new playthrough on there. Same deal happened. I am currently streaming it through my PC, and it's like just as fun as I remember. And the best part is playing it again. I'm doing shit and finding shit that that I don't even remember, and like even coming across in my other 2 playthroughs. Like, the story's fantastic, the characters are great, the side quests alone feel like they matter, which is fucking phenomenal, right? Like, you play RPGs, and most, like, you run into a lot of side quests and you're like, okay, this side quest is bullshit, and it's like, oh, I gotta go find your comb and like fetch quests and stupid bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, World of Warcraft style, you know, just
hey,
like, go collect 10 plants.
Whoa.
Or,
You leave WoW out of this, sir. How dare you?
Go collect these for, you know, I mean, that's just MMOs in general, but like a lot of RPGs, even like your
It's basically that's like a staple of RPGdom.
Have like your
the bullshit
quest. Side quest.
Go kill 7 rats.
Right. Like your starting quest where it's like, we're going to teach you the combat by you clearing out this basement of mice.
Yep.
And you're like, oh boy, this is exciting.
And somehow you go from that to like slaying dragons and shit.
Right.
Because that's some linear progression for you.
Yeah, no, 100%. Should be fantastic that way. But The Witcher 3, every side quest on The Witcher 3 that I've played so far feels like it matters. Like, it actually has solid story to it. Even the short little ones where it's like, oh man, I totally got trapped, I need your help, and then you go help this person and end up finding out, like, end up extending that quest even longer to finding out, oh, okay, now we just cleared this area of the, like, basically the army trying to cause the plague to happen in the city, all by just randomly helping some dude with an exclamation point. Not just like, oh, we killed these like enemies that surrounded you, okay, bye, thanks, here's your gold. Now it was like, hey, oh, by the way, I totally heard these dudes are doing this, and you have the option, you say, not my problem, or all right, cool, I'll check it out. And then even then, it's up to you whether you want to go check it out or not. Like, it's just, everything in that game feels like it matters. Like, so, the story is phenomenal.
Let me ask you this then. How much of your current playthrough is related to you watching the Witcher series on Netflix?
None.
None of your interest in playing it now is because of the TV show?
No.
You want to try again?
It's only my interest in Henry Cavill. Oh.
That's fair.
The only reason I'm playing it on PC is because they have a mod that allows you to put Henry Cavill over Geralt.
Are you serious?
I mean, they do. I haven't installed it, but I really want to.
Guys, I'm starting a Witcher playthrough. Podcast is over. I gotta go.
But no, I mean, it doesn't hurt that the show was fucking phenomenal, but
God, yes, it was.
I'd already kind of planned because I had nothing really in the pipeline. So, and I had the game on PC, so I was like, fuck it, let's play it. And then I watched the show, and I'm like, sweet, toss a coin to your Twitcher. Let's do this.
Oh, baby.
And number 1,
the inevitable.
I cheated on number 1. Okay. I cheated on number 1 because I just lumped this all together, and it's the Soulsborne series. That's it. Soulsborne series. I don't. It's so good.
But
Everything.
like Dark Souls and Bloodborne are different, like, universes.
Soulsborne series as a whole. That's why they're combined. Steel.
Okay.
Oh, don't even start with me because I allowed you to cheat on your list.
No.
Yes.
My list was not cheating, in any way. It wasn't.
Your number 1 is definitely a cheat.
It's definitely not a cheat, and I'll explain why once we get to my list.
All right, either way, Soulsborne, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, phenomenal, right? Bloodborne, awesome. Sekiro, yeah, I'm lumping Sekiro in there. Basically, I should have just said FromSoft series because
My favorite game is this studio. That's my number one game of the year. Is okay. Yeah. Then my number one is Blizzard. How's that?
That's your entire top 10 list. Shut up.
They don't even have 10 games, bro.
I know. That's all right. Sorry, that's half your top 10 list.
It's pretty close to that.
Yeah, I know. You can't deny it, and I'm gonna cheat because the FromSoft series did Dark Souls. Technically, Demon Souls kind of started it, but Dark Souls really kind of took off with it, right? And then Dark Souls 2, yeah, and then Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 did a lot of good shit. Bloodborne, though, Bloodborne took what the Dark Souls series was able to do with kind of the brutal difficulty in the combat and the kind of almost tactical way you have to approach it, sped it up and added just like that, like just the cosmic horror kind of Victorian visceral element, like complete world shift. And
spoiler alert, Dizzle and I are absolute huge Lovecraft fans. So
yeah, that's the thing.
Bloodborne, yes.
But and you know, Bloodborne did kind of tone down. So Dark Souls, I feel like you have a lot more options in terms of builds and kind of different ways to really like build your character and do that. But Bloodborne kind of perfected, and in my opinion, FromSoft's combat and world building, and just everything about the lore in that game, to the enemy designs, weapon designs, the way it plays is damn near perfect as far as I'm concerned. And every playthrough going into your new game pluses and the way the enemies kind of the layout of the enemies changes, and the way they approach combat changes is just boner inducing. And then they dropped Sekiro this year, which is more of a Tenchu game than really a Souls game. Souls game in the sense of kind of the way the world was built and shaped, and like that kind of how you approach getting around and through the different areas. And then again with the brutal difficulty that FromSoft's known for, and switching it up. Yes, they took away like the build aspects of building a character, but really dropped in and just showed like more of it's almost like a dance, the way that combat works out in Sekiro. Like it's more refined. You got to be a little more have a little more of a dance to it, as opposed to I can kind of dodge away and get in here and fuck shit up. Like this is, I got to pay attention a little more, and you know the stealth aspects were really well done. So my number one game of the decade.
Fucking cheating ass.
Soulsborne 3. Shut up.
Cheating.
And I'm gonna run through some honorable mentions. Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
Banger.
Dragon Quest 11,
Banger.
Final Fantasy 14,
Banger.
Resident Evil 7,
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy.
Never played it.
It's a brutal as hell platformer. It's super fun.
Pretty much the rest of this list never played it.
Tekken 7, Tomb Raider, the reboot, Dishonored, Far Cry 3 / Blood Dragon, Cuphead, Titanfall 2, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, The Last of Us, Overwatch, Fortnite, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, Platinum Games, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Killer Instinct, Divinity: Original Sin, and Hollow Knight. And then these are just like the 10 most disappointing games of the decade as far as I'm concerned. Dead Island.
I wanted such high hopes for Dead Island.
And you know what the funny thing is? You know what most of those developers went on to make?
What?
That really fun zombie game, the first person parkour zombie game that I played the shit out of.
Dying Light?
Yep.
Yeah, Dying Light was cool.
They crashed and burned with Dead Island, but then like
I had such high hopes for Dead Island.
Dude, when that first trailer came out, everyone did. Like that somber, like the little girl ended up dying in the trailer, and it was just so.
Yeah, she was like hanging off the dude's back and like biting him on the neck, and he like fell backwards through a window.
And then the game came out, and it was
terrible.
Oof. Crackdown 3, that's just self-explanatory. No Man's Sky.
Crackdown was one with Terry Crews in the trailer, right?
Yeah. No matter how many Terry Crewses you put in that game, it could not save the travesty that was Crackdown 3.
I feel like if you put enough Terry Crews in it.
No, it was bad.
If it was like that, you remember that website that they used to have for Old Spice, where it was just Terry Crews and you click on different body parts and like flex his muscles and play the instruments?
It looked like a launch title from Xbox 360.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
No Man's Sky is on the disappointing list just because of the launch, right? They've done a great job to recover and really go and push the title to where they were kind of hoping to get it, but that launch, yeah. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. God damn it, the fighting mechanics in that game, phenomenal. Everything about it, no. Everything else, the roster, everything, just the way that the art style, trash. While I did enjoy this game, it was very disappointing for Resident Evil fans. Resident Evil 6. Granted, a giraffe blowing a dude on the cover to make it look like a number 6 was hilarious. It was definitely a great action game, not a good Resident Evil game. Anthem. Do we really need to go into why that was a disappointment? No, we don't. Aliens Colonial Marines. I mean, any game that creates a class action lawsuit.
How did that create a class action lawsuit? I haven't heard of that.
Aliens Colonial Marines?
Yeah.
That was the one that 2K was making. That they showed off a bunch of footage and like all that gameplay and everything, and then released the game, and it was none of what they ever showed off was in the game. On top of the fact that the game was pretty much unfinished and a buggy fucking unplayable nightmare.
Oof.
Let's see. Duke Nukem Forever. That was like 12 plus years, and
we went to the midnight release for it. We went to GameStop for the midnight release of Duke Nukem Forever, expecting that it was going to be a fucking Duke Nukem game.
And it
was like 45 minutes into it, and we just fucking like turned the Xbox off because of so many fucking bugs.
It was something. WWE 2K20. While the ridiculous trash bug fest of that game has made for great memes and hilarious gifs all over the interwebs, what the fuck are you doing, 2K? Like the game, literally, it's like unplayable. Like you'll select a character and there's bugs in the game where like it deletes their face, but just like their teeth and their eyes are floating there with their hair. It's fucking terrifying. It's like nightmare fuel.
It was amazing. I want to masturbate to it.
And as far as I'm concerned, the number one disappointment of the last decade, Fallout 76.
Yeah.
I'm not even a Fallout fan, but goddamn, I was disappointed for him. But I also love to see it. Yeah, I mean, you hate to see it, but you love to see it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You remember how excited Todd Howard was, like announcing Fallout 76?
Let's be honest here. How many of our friends were super excited for that game too, though?
A lot.
Like, yeah.
A lot. People I didn't even know were fucking Fallout fans. I'm not a Fallout fan. I'm not. I didn't like any Fallout game I've ever played. It's only been one.
I've never really been a big Fallout fan. I just don't like the setting. I don't like the world and stuff. That doesn't draw me in. But people were fucking hyped for 76.
Yep.
They're like, Fallout. Yeah, and this was just Bethesda's shit-ass attempt to ride the games as service, and in typical Bethesda fashion, it was broke as fuck.
Yep.
And Jesus, like, holy shit. And then the best part is they tried to recover and it didn't work. And then they added a subscription service, which actually just ended up breaking the game even more. Like,
Yikes.
Just what the fuck, man? Go back. Just publish games for a while, Bethesda. Stop trying to make them.
Yeah. Well, no. I want Elder Scrolls 6.
Why? It's being made on the same engine as Skyrim. Like, it's going to be released as a buggy trash fest. Same with their, like, space game. Starfall or whatever the fuck they're calling it.
Did they confirm that it's going to be on the same engine as Skyrim?
Yeah, they're just using a modified Skyrim engine. They're not even using a new engine.
There's some really impressive shit you can do with that engine, though. I mean, like
yeah.
you've seen the.
But it also releases every game they've used that engine for. Fallout 4, Skyrim, Fallout 76. It all releases with the same bugs and more. Like, yeah.
That's upsetting. I've seen some really, really, really impressive shit done with that engine, though. On point where they just release a game and they just hope their people in the modding community fix it, but then they're like, oh wait. Well, that's where I've seen the really impressive shit is the modded Pornhub community. Like, they make some really realistic looking shit out there.
Oh no, they do.
To put on Pornhub.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I know what the engine's capable of it. Maybe they can just hire some of these guys. Some of the Nexus mod guys to come in there and, you know, spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, you know, you would love to see it, but you know that shit ain't happening.
But I can dream, and I can watch.
The next chunk of list I have, we'll do after Steel talks about his top 10 list, because it is the top critically reviewed games.
Lover's Lab, that's the one. Yep, those are the guys.
Yeah, Lover's Lab. Yeah.
Yep, God bless them. They're doing the Lord's work over there.
They're doing someone's work over there.
Yep.
Me work, I'll tell you that.
Okay,
right,
so
let's get into your 10 games you played this last decade.
My 10 games that I've played in the past decade. First off, I've played a lot more than 10 games. However,
on multiple consoles does not count.
Okay, well then I've played 10 games. For those of y'all that know me, you know that I don't branch out all that much with my games. I like to pick a game and play the fuck out of it for a really long time. And my list reflects that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Number 10, I have Dragon Quest XI. I loved that it was a classic throwback JRPG in the absolute truest sense of everything that makes a JRPG. It played like a fucking like an old ass Final Fantasy VII game. It had the ATB combat system and everything. It was super weeby, which like isn't really my bag, but it worked for the game. It was fucking beautiful. Not to mention my man Sylvando. What a fucking champion. I love him. Sylvando was amazing. Best part of the game.
I'm so glad I listened to you, Dizzle.
Yeah, fuck you. Well, it's funny because like he was telling me I should play the game, and I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then like months later, he was like, bro, you really got to get on this game. And I was watching him play it on his stream, and I was like, yo, this Sylvando guy kind of pisses me off. I do not like him. And he was like, play the fucking game, and you'll like him. And I was like, I fucking doubt it. So I played the game, got Sylvando in my party, and like by the end of that night, I'm just like fucking prancing through the house, waving a baton and shit, like, come here, darlings!
Yep.
It was...
the power of anime, son.
I love him. I don't want to travel the world with him.
Don't we all?
Oh, yes. Number 9 is PUBG. It is by far the game I played the most my entire first year of streaming. I've got over 600 hours of PUBG. I did not go full weeb myself. I usually like the weeb shit. I'm not really. I don't really watch anime. I don't like read manga or any of that shit. Like the hentai is not my thing. Most of the time. So like a full weeb was never really gonna happen for me. But that Dragon Quest 11 got me pretty close. It got me to think that maybe maybe there's a corner of this weeb stuff that is for me. Sylvando is for me, yes. But yeah, PUBG, for all the fuck ups and the bugs and the unplayable rubber banding and all the stupid ass shit, I got 600 hours in the game. It launched the huge fucking battle royale craze that fucking is still riding like super high right now. Like everything was there's a fucking Tetris BR that was made, guys. Wrap your minds around that. They found a way to turn Tetris into a BR because of how popular PUBG made BRs. Like there was there was the Arma 3 mods, and then there was the fucking what was it? World War Z.
H1Z1.
H1Z1. That's what I'm thinking of. And those all did all right, and then PUBG came out and completely took over the whole fucking market, and that's all everybody was playing. It's all everybody was streaming was PUBG, and then Fortnite came out and shit on PUBG.
Yeah, it did,
because it was cartoony and free to play, and cross-platform,
and not a buggy mess.
I never got into Fortnite, but I did play the shit out of some PUBG.
Yeah, I played quite a few hours of PUBG with you. Like,
yeah.
It's for what it was kind of, I agree with you. It was solid as shit.
Yeah.
It was fun with friends.
Yeah, definitely was.
I love friendly fire.
Yeah, PUBG is what launched Frag Out Friday. Except at the time it was Frag Out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Because PUBG was the only game I was streaming. And then I got tired of it and wanted to branch out and play other games that weren't PUBG. But I didn't want to completely give up on the fragging. So we relegated our fragging to Fridays only. And thus was Frag Out Friday born.
And it's carried on strong since.
Amen. Bigger and better every week.
We should do a flashback Frag Out Friday and play some PUBG. Just really slog through that fucking grind.
I don't think I hate myself enough for that anymore.
I'm a grown ass man.
Oh, but maybe. So then there's Destiny is number 8. Not Destiny 2, because fuck Destiny 2, but Destiny 1. I've got about 430 hours on Destiny 1, which was like Destiny 1 was the game that got me back into gaming all the time. Dizzle, my son had an Xbox One, and I never really touched the fucking thing. And Dizzle was like, "Bro, you got to get this game Destiny and come play it with me."
I'm sorry.
And I was like, "All right, fuck it." So I did, and then he introduced me to the group of people that he was playing with, the motherfucking banging Brodies.
Brodies.
Huh?
The bangingest of Brodies.
The bangingest of all the Brodies, and that's how I started. That got me back into gaming all the time because I started playing with Dizzle, and through Dizzle I met Rage Quit Lobby, who y'all have seen in chat before, and then through Rage Quit Lobby I started playing WoW again. So it was just like a whole fucking like chain, and before that I wasn't really gaming all that much at all. So Destiny was my gateway drug to getting back into gaming, like as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as Destiny goes, it had shit for storyline, but the gameplay was fucking beautiful. Everything was smooth, everything was fluid, everything was intuitive, and it was fun. The raids were a shit ton of fun. The strikes were a shit ton of fun. It was just a good time. It was a good fucking run around and shoot some shit with your friends kind of game.
Yeah.
Number 7. Skyrim. Yeah, you can't have a list of the top 10 games of the past year and not have Skyrim on it.
I mean, mine was 13, but
I mean, yours was wrong, so there's that.
I also have like 2,800 more hours in Skyrim than you.
Yeah, I've got about 200 hours in Skyrim. But I mean, the Dark Brotherhood and the Assassin, most of that was on the Dark Brotherhood and the Assassin's Guild quests.
The Thieves Guild.
Yeah, the Dark Brotherhood was the Assassin's Guild. The Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. Fucking doing those quests over and over again, and they never got old. And the fucking Nightingale armor looks so fucking cool. Like you look like a mix between Assassin's Creed and Batman. And like you can't really beat that as far as game armor goes. Plus all the arrow to the knee memes, beautiful. Like, well, they're tired now, but like when they came out like 10 years ago, it was fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, no, it was 100%. Like that was the shit.
Not to mention the whole like Skyrim completely fucking like injected like life's blood into the whole like Tolkien-esque high fantasy like game style. It was fucking fantastic. Like before Skyrim and oh fuck, I'm blanking on the name right now. Oblivion. Wow. Like there really wasn't a whole lot going on there. Like they had, but I mean, and all that was going on there was being done by Bethesda. They had Morrowind and all that shit. But like Skyrim made it all popular again. It made it ubiquitous. Made it fucking everywhere. So it deserves at least a number 7 spot. Dizzle. Fucking 13. Get out of here.
I mean, it was great. Like I had fun with the game. Like don't get me wrong. Like I thought it was fantastic. I just.
How many hours did you put in again?
Huh?
How many hours did you put into Skyrim again?
A little over 3,000.
Okay. It was okay. I only put 3,000 hours into it.
I had a fucking blast with the game. Don't get me wrong. Like, I just felt like there was better games for me that this last decade that I was very much more into. Like, I had a blast with the gameplay. I had a blast exploring the world, fighting. Like, my favorite thing to do in that game was get a bounty.
Yeah.
And then wait for the bounty hunter dudes to start like chasing me. I'd go kill a dragon. And then they'd be like, immediately after I absorbed the dragon's soul, they'd be like, haha, we're here to stop you. And then I'm just like, bro, did you not?
Yeah, did you see what just happened now?
I literally just absorbed that dragon's soul. And then
and like, you want to talk shit?
Like, yeah, I'd turn into a fucking werewolf and shred them apart. And
there you go.
All right, cool. Like,
plus, I think Skyrim was the first game in a long, first game maybe ever that did DLCs the right way. Like the DLCs were like a whole extra fucking game.
Yeah, they felt full and yeah.
Yeah, but like Skyrim as a game felt like a whole game, and then like they would add on additional DLCs that were just fucking massive amounts of content. And fucking but like any other game that that sells you DLC like that will sell you like 70% of the game, and then will like sell you like months later. Sell you like the other 30% of the game in like bits and pieces for $20 a pop. And
we're looking at you, Activision.
Yeah. But I mean, Skyrim, like, it felt like a complete game. And speaking of DLC being done properly, number 6 is Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15 also did DLC properly. It felt like a whole complete game. And then for like $5 extra, they'd be like, "Hey, you want a little bit of backstory on this guy? You want a little bit of backstory on that guy?" And you get a nice little couple hours of DLC there.
DLCs were like 15 for 15.
They were $5 each.
They ranged between 10 and 15.
I only paid $5 each for them.
Did you get them on sale?
Nope. I got them as soon as they came out.
I mean, I had the season pass, so.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like Final Fantasy 15 was fucking. It was amazing. First off, Thick Daddy Gladiolus, my fucking man. I fucking love. I played through Final Fantasy 7 or Final Fantasy 15, and beat it 3 times as soon as it was released on different platforms. Like I played it when it first came out, like the original Chapter 13 before they nerfed the shit. Played through and beat that. And then it came out on PC with the Royal Edition, and then I played through and beat that. And then the Royal Edition came out to Xbox as well, so I rebought it and played through and beat that. And at no point was I disappointed. It was such a fucking good game. The character development was amazing. I like that they focused a lot on like friendship and brotherhood and everything between the 4 main characters. I thought that was really fucking cool. That's something they haven't really explored in the Final Fantasy. But like having like the interpersonal relationships between Ignis, Gladiolus, Noctis, and Prompto was really fucking cool. And then the DLCs went even further into that. The monster design was fucking beautiful. The world was fucking beautiful. The chocobos were amazing, except for the goofy looking Twitch Prime joint, where like, you get like a purple chocobo with like fucking googly eyes or some shit. I didn't like that. But you know, whatever.
Yeah, they had some fun stuff. The end game monster hunt stuff was really fun.
Yeah. And the summons look cool as shit.
Oh, the way they did the summons in this was cool as shit.
Oh god, yes. Fucking like and when you fight Ifrit, fucking amazing.
Yeah, I will say like you are forgetting pretty much the one most important main aspect of that game though.
And what's that?
Aranea.
Oh,
Sweet Aranea.
Yeah, Aranea. Hello. Oh,
I just want a whole game of her.
Yeah, they were supposed to do a DLC for her, and then it got scrapped. I was ready to just throw money at them.
They probably stopped focusing on 15 so they could focus on a subpar game like Kingdom Hearts 3 or something.
Ugh. But the last cool thing about 15 though was that they moved away from the ATB. There was no more turn-based combat.
Yeah, it was the more action-based combat system, which
yep,
more akin to like your Star Oceans and stuff, which I was a huge fan of.
And it had never been done in a Final Fantasy game, and I thought that they handled it great. They did a phenomenal job with it. The character combos and the tech bar and everything, I thought it was really fucking cool. You like warping in and out of combat was really cool. I mean, for a franchise that had established itself as hard as it did in the ATB combat system, for them to be able to branch out of it and do it successfully was super impressive.
Yeah, no, they did a good job with the combat system.
Yeah. Which brings us to number 5. God of War. Fuck, I wish that I could have put God of War higher than 5.
You could have. I've seen your list.
Fuck you, buddy. I have reasons for why everything is where it is, but God of War is probably one of my favorite games I've ever played in my life. It's so fucking good. Like when you first launch the game, when you first start the game, just the fucking scenery was like literally breathtaking. Like Keanu Reeves breathtaking. It was just fucking like I'm sitting like watching like the snow blow off the mountains and shit, and I'm just like in awe. Like I didn't know you could do shit like that in video games. It's beautiful. The character development with Kratos being more than a womanizing rage monster. Now all of a sudden he's got like feelings and shit. He's like trying to have a relationship with his son, and like I'm telling you, man, there were some heartstring moments in that game. The combat was smooth. It was fun. The mechanics and shit, like throwing like the ice axe and stuff and freezing it, and the puzzles were pretty cool. Christopher Judge saying "boy," beautiful, absolutely fucking beautiful.
Yeah, Kratos' dialogue in that game was
top fucking notch, dude.
I know.
Boy. Not to mention, like you were saying, like the fact that they were successfully able to reboot God of War as like an action, like character-driven RPG that you give a fuck about, instead of like whirling rage monster. Like for them to turn it in, like turn an action game into an RPG game and like do it so seamlessly and flawlessly, and like be able to set up the storyline for more down the road. That's not just like, oh, bigger bad guy to kill. Like, oh, no, we killed Ares, now we gotta kill Zeus. They set it up so well to continue the universe in a way that you care about. Plus, it's Vikings and shit. I love Vikings and shit. Before we started the podcast, I was watching the show Vikings. So, you know, it being all Norse and shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah, no, it was a hell of a way to reboot the series.
Yeah. Where do you think they'll go with it next, though? Like after if they do the Vikings trilogy, where do they go next? I'm thinking like Aztec Kratos.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Like, was he just gonna fucking wreck all the Norse gods and then just disappear again?
Maybe.
Go to Egypt.
Egypt would be cool. Egypt or Aztec would both be really fucking cool.
I don't know. There's a lot they could pull out through the where the setting is now currently. I mean, they have it set up to where you're gonna basically make Thor your bitch because Thor's a little bitch. But...
Whoa, hold on. So number 4, Overwatch. Overwatch for all.
Think about that, everyone. You put Overwatch higher than God of War. What a fucking cuck.
Overwatch, first off, is the basis for Frag Out Friday. Frag Out Friday is Overwatch is most of the fragging in Frag Out Friday. Not to mention, Overwatch was the first game that Dizzle and I started streaming.
It's true.
We were streaming Overwatch comp matches together.
I'm sorry for that.
Yep. Wrap your minds around that one, boys and girls. There was a day that Dizzle and I streamed Overwatch competitive matches together on Xbox, no less.
Oof. Oof.
Yep. That is a thing that happened. It was basically like they took Team Fortress 2 and they were like, hey, we could do that better, and then they did, and then not only that, but they're constantly adding new maps, new modes, new characters, new everything to keep the game fresh, and they do a really good job with it. But they launched Overwatch League, which was literally the first successful launch of a city-based esports league, and it's growing. Like, there's a lot of memes about it, a lot of people talking shit, but they don't know what they're talking about. I got the numbers right here. Overwatch League is the only major esports league to increase viewership this past year. They had an 11% growth over last year. And their grand finals had 1.1 million viewers, which was like a 16% growth over last year. Which is, I mean, that's a big fucking number for an esports game.
They've also added a new city. They added, there's a new team that's being added to Overwatch League too. New city.
Which team are they bringing in?
DC.
Washington Justice has been a team.
Have they?
Washington Justice was in all of season 2.
They've just been trash then, because I've never heard of them.
No, they definitely were not good. They got shit on pretty hard. They're one of their DPS, Corey, is really fucking good. But yeah, no, they didn't do well at all. But I mean, they're a brand new team going up against guys that have been playing professional Overwatch for 3 or 4 years now. Like, they don't have a Sinatra, or they don't have a fucking Chiobian, or they don't have they had, like, Corey was the only like established player that they had.
Wait, Frank Sinatra plays Overwatch? I thought he was dead.
I'm talking Mr. 150K Sinatra from San Francisco Shock, sir. How dare you?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch Overwatch League, so.
Maybe that's why you didn't know that DC was a team already.
I mean, I just figured we should know that.
I did know that.
Proximity wise, but.
Yep. You're doing great over there, buddy. Asshole. Number 3. Black Ops. Black Ops 1.
God of War.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because Black Ops was, at first it had replayability.
Sticks and stones.
What's that?
Because of sticks and stones.
Basically, yeah. Do you remember how many hours we sunk into Black Ops?
So many just on wager matches.
Yeah, all we did were wager matches. Like, we didn't level up, we didn't prestige, we weren't doing like team deathmatch and shit. We like days on end we would spend going into Black Ops, queuing up for wager matches, and then just fucking with people, bankrupting them. Just like running around and just fucking and just shitting on them. Like we'd go and do gun game, and we'd run around as the assholes knifing everybody. or we'd run around as the assholes in sticks and stones, fucking tomahawking people and bankrupting them. We'd find whoever had the highest score, and then just like hide behind them, wait for 3 seconds left on the timer, and then tomahawk them to wipe their score back to 0.
No, tomahawk only matches were the shit.
Oh my god, yes. We spent like months, like days at a time for months, just like only playing wager matches. And
Sticks and stones and gun game, man.
that was one of the most fun. That's some of the most fun I've had gaming in the past decade.
I will actually say that was the first online. That was actually the first game that Steel was ever able to convince me to play online multiplayer with.
Yeah. Yep. And then years later, he got revenge on me with Destiny.
It's true. It did.
Yep.
No, I don't disagree. Black Ops was fucking solid as shit. The multiplayer was phenomenal.
Yep. Yeah, I have zero regrets about putting that as number 3. That was fucking amazing. Such a good game, such a good time, and it never got old.
It was a nice change to the pace on the campaign too.
Yeah, for sure. So number 2 is Hearthstone. Now you guys should know
Did you see that one coming? I didn't.
I very rarely stream Hearthstone. I've started to more lately, but like I've done like I've hosted like a Hearthstone tournament here and there. Or I'll like finish up some game early and be like, all right, fuck it, I'll do a couple matches of Hearthstone. But only a handful of times, and I've only started to play it more on stream recently. But I've been playing Hearthstone since it was in closed beta. I like religiously. I play a lot of Hearthstone, guys. I've got over 10,000 games played in Hearthstone, and I have very little money invested in Hearthstone actually, and that's one of the things that I like about it. That's what makes it one of the best digital collectible card games for me. Is that you can get just about everything in the game. You can get every card in the game without spending $1. You don't have to spend any fucking money at all. You can get all the best cards in the game just by playing the game. And I mean, that's part of what made it the first successful online card game. Like Magic the Gathering came out back in like 2002, or Magic the Gathering Online came out in like 2002, but it sucked. And it capped out at like 300,000 players. Hearthstone has 80 million. 80 million players.
At one point, they were over 100 million.
What's that?
At one point, Hearthstone was at over 100 million. Pretty sure they were.
I haven't seen them that high, but they might have been. And because of Hearthstone's success, you've got Wizards of the Coast putting out Magic the Gathering Arena. You had Gwent come out. You had all kinds of other card games come out because of Hearthstone's success, because of what they were able to pull off. They're constantly updating it with expansions every 3 months. They got single player modes. Battlegrounds just came out. They're a whole lot of fun. And it's the most accessible collectible card game, and it's always in it's literally always on the front page of the Twitch directory. It gets triple the viewership of Magic the Gathering Arena, infinitely more viewership than Gwent. Gwent has like 7 people watching it. So I mean, like it's a fantastic game, and also.
Gwent wasn't going to go anywhere. That was just released because it was part of the Witcher game itself, and then they were like, we can make it a separate game. Let's see if it'll...
I'm still waiting on Triple Triad to get its own standalone game. I know there's some like web version of it that you can do, but...
Triple Triad there's a hard version of it.
Really?
There's a paper version you can buy.
I didn't know that.
It's expensive as shit, I believe, because you have to import it, but...
Probably. But yeah, I mean, Hearthstone's a fucking banger. It is the best CCG in existence.
Digital CCG in existence.
Well, because there is no paper version of it. You really couldn't make a paper. There's too many RNG elements for Hearthstone to ever be paper.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Digital wise, yes.
No, it's the best card game.
No, Hearthstone's trash. My 5-year-old can play it. It's trash.
Your 5-year-old could play it. That's part of what makes it the best card game.
I want you to stop cashing that Activision check and move on to your next Activision check.
if Activision were paying me, I would still say everything that I'm saying right now. What's up, Activision? How's it going out there? Holla at your boy.
No, I don't disagree with you. Hearthstone, I enjoy Hearthstone. I like it. It's simple to start.
Yep.
It has that nice little like simple to start, but there's a lot of depth to it when you really actually kind of get into the meta of like the decks and everything. So there's a lot of cool shit they do, and I do like the fact that it's so well supported.
Yep. I mean, your 5-year-old could literally jump in and play the game, or it can be played at the highest esports level, and I mean, there's just all the room in the world to grow as a player in Hearthstone.
Yeah, no, they did a hell of a job with that.
Yep. And number 1.
Cheating.
I did not cheat. Mm-hmm. World of Warcraft.
Released in
2004.
Weird.
Yep.
Weird how a game released in 2004 makes it to the 2010-2019.
Yep. And for the reason that it was released in 2004, I will only be talking about expansions Cataclysm and Beyond. Boom. I'm not going to talk about how many hours I racked up in Wrath of the Lich King. And for starters, I started playing it in 2005, like as the successor to EverQuest, because I started playing EverQuest in 1999 and played the fuck out of EverQuest up until I started to trail off, and I was like, all right, let me try out WoW. I tried out WoW for a couple months and then quit. Didn't play again until like 2008. And then I played the shit out of it from like 2008 to 2010. And then pretty off and on since then, mostly on, as you'll see from the numbers that I'm about to drop upon you. The numbers that I'm about to give you are for the 5 characters that I played the most in World of Warcraft. 1 was my rogue, 2 was my druid, 3 was my demon hunter, 4 was my warrior, and 5 was my priest. On my priest, I had 120 hours.
From 2010 to 2019, or these total?
The numbers are total, but most of it was post 2010, except for my rogue. My demon hunter, warrior, and priest are all exclusively past 2010, because I didn't have those characters before 2010. My demon hunter I couldn't have made before 2016 because they weren't in the game.
Oh, yeah, that was part of what Legion, right?
Yeah. So on my warrior, I have 120 hours played. On my priest, I have 192 hours played. On my demon hunter, I have 312 hours played. On my druid, I have 624 hours played. And on my rogue...
Disgusting.
On my rogue, guys, the vast majority of which was actually in 2010, because this was when I was really, really into WoW arenas, specifically on my rogue. 4,440 hours of played time on my rogue. 4,440. That is a total play time of 237 days across these 5 characters. Now, granted, these are the 5 characters that I played like the vast majority of my time on. But I had 3 different rogues at one point. And I played them all. 237 days spent in-game time. So yeah. WoW pretty much had to be my number 1 game.
Yeah, now go ahead and wire the funds. Yeah. Alright. Alright. Thanks. Bye, Blizzard.
Oh, fuck you.
No, I honestly know all this for a fact. I've seen it.
Yeah.
IRL.
Yep. Yep.
God, I used to have to try and like trick him into tell him the wrong time that we needed to leave somewhere, just so he would hopefully be off of World of Warcraft in time.
Yeah. I have over 10,000 hours invested in Blizzard games, guys. Easy. Easily over 10,000 hours invested between WoW, Hearthstone, and Overwatch. Like, no question, over 10,000 hours.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? We accept payment in the form of wire transfers.
Yeah. If someone get Bobby Kotick my number. So yeah, that will wrap up my my top 10 games of the year, which you could have found most of just by launching the Blizzard launcher.
All right. So now that that's wrapped up, I'm gonna hit you real quick. These are the top critical reviewed games of the last decade via Metacritic.
Go on.
So everything basically from a score of 93 and above, which is like their highest rating. So we're gonna start with the highest. So with the score of 97, you have Grand Theft Auto 5. This next one I don't understand why, but Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
I'm gonna start a playthrough of that soon. I've been hearing way too much about it to not have played it.
I give it one stream max before you're like, you know what? This game is boring.
Then I'll just play Hearthstone.
Red Dead Redemption 2, Super Mario Galaxy 2.
That was a lot of fun.
Super Mario Odyssey. How do you feel about weapon breakage, Steel?
Weapon breakage?
Yeah, because every weapon in Legend of Zelda breaks. So if you're in the middle of combat and your sword breaks and you're out of weapons.
That happens in WoW. Like, weapon durability is a thing.
Metascore of 96, Batman Arkham City. And The Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Yeah.
Metascore of 95, Last of Us, Mass Effect 2, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Portal 2, Red Dead Redemption, and The Walking Dead. The
Portal 2 kind of surprises me. Like, that was a fun game and all, but like, I don't think
The Walking Dead, the game that they're talking about, is the Telltale game, the story-based one, not the shitty zombie killing one.
Okay.
Metascore of 94, BioShock Infinite, God of War.
Yes, that definitely should have been a 97.
Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, which was the 3DS re-release. Persona 4 Golden, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I think whoever made this game is just really riding Nintendo's dick. Or made this list.
Here's my issue so far. There's a lot of these games that have been ranked lower than 97 that I would have placed in higher than Breath of the Wild easily. I would put Smash Bros. Ultimate higher than Breath of the Wild. Metascore 93. Divinity Original Sin 2, Forza Horizon 4, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, Mass Effect 3, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, I believe that was the PS4 one. Or no, I'm sorry. It was the Xbox version that got a lower rating. Minecraft, PC version of Minecraft.
Okay.
Okami HD, Persona 5, Resident Evil 2.
The remake.
Yeah. Rock Band 3, StarCraft 2, Super Mario 3D World, Uncharted 4, Undertale, and The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Which, again, to me, vastly superior than Breath of the Wild.
The Witcher 3 definitely should have been higher up on the list. Right. What else? Rock Band 3 was a lot of fun. If they're going to put Rock Band on here and not put Guitar Hero on there, that seems kind of tilted, though. The Guitar Hero was like the OG shit, and Rock Band just kind of like, we'll just add some more instruments on there, it'll be fine. Which was really cool and all, but like...
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of like the top Metacritic ratings for the last 10 years. There's some that, a lot of these I agree with, and there's quite a few of these that actually were on my list, so it's not surprising. I play quality games.
Yeah.
And there's some that, I mean, I can agree with, but there's some that I definitely don't like. Should Breath of the Wild be a top review game? Sure. Should it be up there with a 97? As far as I'm concerned, no.
I think God of War should have been a 97 easily. God of War should have been a 98. I said it.
It should have been 100.
I didn't say 100, but it should have been a 98. God of War should not have been in the same category as GTA 5 and Breath of the Wild and Red Dead Redemption 2. And fucking, like, all these fucking Nintendo games on here. Like,
well, I mean, that's the one thing you honestly, you can't really deny is Nintendo first party always releases solid shit.
I mean,
they really do. Like, all their games their first party games are always solid titles. Except for, like, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Like, they're all, like, good because it's the same formula that they've been releasing for the past 20 fucking years.
Right. No,
But
they are really good at making money on their products.
On the exact same fucking formula, with the exact same mechanics and the exact same gameplay.
Yeah. God. It's almost like they know their audience. It's almost like they're World of Warcraft.
This is more like Call of Duty than World of Warcraft.
True, they're very Call of Duty. But okay, so I mean, most of these games I don't disagree with. There's only a couple that like Portal 2. I mean, I can see why people and like why it was so well received, but
it was fun. But like, come on. Yeah. It wasn't that good.
No, I mean, I maybe played an hour of it, and I was like, oh, okay, moving on.
I think I played it for like 2 hours. 2 or 3 hours. So. And like, it was funny. There was the cake is a lie thing. Well, that was from Portal 1, but whatever. They're the same fucking game.
Came out of it
yeah.
So, there we have it. Steele and I have gone over our games of the decade, and we both cheated at number 1.
So next up, we've got leaks and predictions and announcements from CES coming up this week, running Tuesday through Friday. Which I'm kind of curious about. I want to see what happens. What do you think, Dizzle? What do you think's coming?
Just new TVs. Everyone's gonna be showing off 8K. People are gonna. I think there's gonna be a huge focus on streaming elements built-in streaming elements to TVs and stuff, so people can just go directly through. Obviously, that's kind of a thing in most TVs now, but I think they're gonna really make that a big focus. And then I think there's gonna be a huge kind of showing for VR stuff.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be cool.
Not in terms of like a lot of people showing off different VR, but I think they're gonna have VR is gonna have a attempt to have a bigger presence at CES, and I think there's gonna be probably gonna hear a lot of companies talking 5G.
Okay, yeah, I agree that 5G will be pushed pretty hard.
But for the most part, it's gonna be because CES's bread and butter has always been TVs, so they're gonna be showing off a lot of new TV tech. It'll be interesting to see. There'll be a lot of 8K stuff shown off.
What are they gonna put in a TV that a Roku doesn't already do though? Like I've got a Roku TV in my living room. It's already got Netflix. It's already got Hulu and Amazon and Disney Plus apps already like built into the TV. Like what more are they gonna add more streaming services? Because that's just an app dev. Like that's nothing.
Probably just showing off like a way they can streamline it, and I would say something to the effect of even like having your cable networks like built in, so you're not going through a cable box so much as like you're getting your cable directly streamed to your TV.
That's already a thing too for a lot of for Verizon's already got it.
Right. I'm just saying a lot of TVs that what they're going to do is they're going to show off essentially a way to bypass Fire Sticks and Rokus. So like you buy a TV now, everything's already pre-built in, or downloadable through whatever marketplace Samsung, whoever wants to use on their TVs, and then you don't have to ever worry about a Fire Stick or a Roku or an Apple TV, unless obviously Apple TV for Apple centric type stuff. But
I mean they've essentially turned Roku into like an operating system for TVs. Like I've got the TCL TV, Yeah, that
TCL.
he's talking
Yeah.
about right now. I've got the TCL TV that has Roku built into it.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. There's some companies already doing it. Like Samsung has apps built in.
Yep.
Sony does it. Like they all have it already built in. I think what they're going to be showing off now is a bigger streamlined kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? A user friendly, just kind of a simpler like UIs for
Okay.
that. Because it's still kind of clunky on a lot of TVs. Like
I've got this fucking Sony TV right here, and the App Store on it is clunky as fuck.
Right.
It's
No,
horrible.
Samsung's the same way. TCL kind of was really been the big one that has already had like the Roku partnership. Because even quite a few years ago when I was working at Best Buy and doing the TV stuff, like we had TCL with Roku built in.
Right. Yeah, I mean, and like that's the most convenient TV I've ever had in my fucking life. I've got a Fire Stick.
No,
I've used like the Chromecasts and all that shit, but the TCL is fucking far and away the most convenient TV I've ever used.
Yeah, no, I mean it's nice to have everything already built in and kind of in one location. Like I don't have to worry about getting a Chromecast or a Fire Stick or an Apple TV or a Roku, like any secondary devices.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is partnerships. I would be interesting to see if like Samsung, Sony, any of them are trying to do any kind of exclusive partnerships with streaming services.
That I'd have a hard time getting like picturing that working. I don't know why the streaming services would go for it.
Shit, so.
I'm sure they're trying, but like, what the like, is Netflix gonna sign a deal with Sony? So like, you can't play it on a Samsung or a TCL? No, everybody's already fucking got Netflix. What's in it for? That'd have to be the fattest stack of cash ever.
Sony's big thing could be their the gaming side of it, like streaming, because you can stream like the Sony Now or PlayStation Now to your TV.
Yeah. Well, it's you theoretically can. I've got that on my TV, and it just fucking sucks.
Great. Yeah, it's not great at all. Hell,
But like that's all firmware and software. Like what are they gonna? I guess if that is what they're gonna announce, what are they gonna showcase at like a hardware show?
No, just new TVs. That's it.
I guess we'll see.
All they're gonna look how thin this is. It's literally the screen. You can just slap it on your wall, peel and stick TVs.
That'd be pretty cool.
Already, those are a thing.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fucking rad, actually.
So now it's gonna be like, let's see if they're really pushing it. Hey, you want to take this TV, pull it off the wall, roll it up, throw it in a fucking poster container, and move your location. Like,
I'd buy that. Foldable. Yeah, there is definitely going to be a push on foldable TVs and phones. But why?
I mean, they've been showing those off for a couple years now.
Yeah, they've been like conceptual shit, but like now they're like actually making them to be like commercially available. And my question is still why.
It's because of the way the screens are now. So, like
curved TVs are still slick as fuck. Yeah, I love curved TVs and gaming monitors.
Yeah, curved monitors are nice. I'm not a huge fan of like curved TVs, but teach their own. But the way screens are made now, so with like your organic LEDs, your OLEDs, because it's not actual like diodes and shit in there that you have to worry about breaking. It's all fucking gas. It's like hydrocarbons and shit that are in the TVs now.
Ooh, fancy.
You can fold and not have to worry about breaking your diodes in the TV. So, like, it's really, I mean, the technology's there. Now it's just like, let's fuck with it. Oh, I got this Samsung Galaxy S10 plus 69,000 XXX version, but it's fucking massive. Oh, I'll just fold it and put it in my pocket.
But
phones are getting fucking huge now. Like, you gotta admit, phones are big as fuck.
Oh, I love it.
A lot of people do, but at the same time, like, it gets kind of inconvenient putting that shit in your pocket. I mean, I personally don't have a problem with it, but I think I think for the people who, mostly Apple owners who buy the new big Apple phone, put it in their pocket and bend over, and the fucking thing snaps in half.
So, okay, they need folding phones.
Yes.
But like I mean I got big hands. Like I like having some like being able to like hold my phone right here, and like be able to touch the one button without hitting like the 3 buttons next to it is great. I'm a huge fan. My wife's got these dainty little hands, which by the way make me look huge, and she's got the fucking I tried like typing something on her phone the other day, and I'm like I look like fucking Zoolander. In that like when he's got like that tiny little phone.
Yeah.
Like that's what it fucking like that is actual real life what it looks like. It's fucking horrible.
Yeah, but that's the other thing too, is there's that market for it, man. People who have, people have smaller hands who are like, I don't need this huge phone, but if I could fold my screen down a little bit, or oh man, I don't have any pockets. Like most women's jeans don't have pockets.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really dumb, by the way.
Pockets, they got their purses.
I feel like someone should just make women's jeans with pockets and like rake in billions.
Whoa.
Rake in billions.
Really would.
Fucking Scrooge McDuck money over there.
But no, I think honestly 5G and then just new TVs. I think people are gonna show off, 8K is gonna be everyone's big push. And
yeah. Is there even like 8K content though to put on an 8K TV?
Let's be honest, majority of services aren't even really. They're not even streaming full 4K content.
Yeah.
Like everything, you don't. It's the typical stuff. Look at this cool technology we have. Yeah, it's great. Who the fuck is gonna be able to use like when 4K TVs were really the big push? Like when they were kind of 4K was first dropping.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can stream in 4K. You know what you were streaming in 4K? Literally nature documentaries.
Yeah.
There's a few nature documentaries and a couple like other little nature, not even shows, just like nature,
like screensavers and backgrounds, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, now sure you get up all the way. There's a lot of 4K stuff that's being people film in 4K. Your phones can do 4K now. You got fucking porn in 4K.
And you do not want to watch 4K porn, guys. You barely want to watch 1080p porn.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think this is just gonna be a big old like. CES for me, at least through the TVs and stuff, is a big old look at my dick between the companies.
Yeah.
Like one of them gonna be like LG is gonna be like, hey, check out this 128 inch flat screen OLED, and then Samsung's gonna be like, check out our 142 inch, and then fucking Sony's gonna be like, check out this 198 inch. We call it the wall. It's literally we come into your house and we cut out a wall and just replace it with this TV. So it's gonna be it'll be fun. I always love the new announcements that come out, but
well, Samsung's already leaked the details for one of the monitors they're putting out, and I'm fucking excited about it. Their G9 monitor. It's 27 inches, got FreeSync 2 and G-Sync, 244 hertz, 1440p. But the best part is that on the back of the monitor mount, there's a little ring on there. It's RGB. Any color you want, guys.
Comes with a little RGB cock ring, huh?
Yep. And I want it. I want it.
Is it a flat or curved monitor?
Curved monitor. 1800 radius curve.
No,
it's a deeper curve than most monitors. Most monitors are like a 1,000, I think. RGB 100% increases your FPS. For every additional LED bulb that you have of a color that's not a traditional light color, you gain one extra skill point in whatever game you're playing. That's a true story.
Is it a LED or an OLED?
It's LED. Yeah. Samsung is putting out a QLED laptop though. It's a laptop slash tablet. It's a laptop with a touchscreen monitor. It's QLED.
It's still LED.
Yeah, but I don't think QLED's ever been done in a computer screen before or a laptop screen before.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. I'm all about that the OLED.
Oh, I'll bet. The coolest thing that's been confirmed so far, it definitely blows the Samsung monitor out of the water, is an Alexa shower head, guys.
I'm sorry, what?
An Alexa shower head. A Bluetooth.
Might answer your question. According to
No, cancel. Alexa, cancel. This bitch. An A-word shower head. 6 to 7 hours playtime with Harman Kardon speakers. It is tuned to compensate for the white noise from the shower. And I need it. I'm going to get it immediately. As soon as it hits the market, I'm going to be right there at Best Buy breaking the door down.
Are you getting an RGB shower curtain too?
Now I am. Yes, absolutely. I've got 2 Alexas in my bedroom.
You're gonna have Alexa watching you in your shower. That's
Yeah, I'm putting on a show for her too.
Yeah, you know what?
What?
Yep. And when it comes to be known that Alexa is actually just Skynet.
I, for one, welcome our robot overlords.
For shame. For shame.
Yep. Yep.
Fucking Alexa showerhead. Jesus Christ.
Now, as far as the speculation goes, though, the thing that I'm most curious about, the thing that I want to know the most about, is Elgato has been teasing something big for CES, and I want to know what the fuck it is. Like, for 2018, they announced the Thunderbolt 3 mini dock. For 2019, they announced the Keylight, the Screen Link for mobile streaming, like streaming from like your phone to OBS, and they announced the Stream Deck SDK, which was massive. Without the Stream Deck SDK, like the Stream Deck wouldn't have taken off the way that it has. So I want to know what it is they're announcing this week. I'm hoping that it's some kind of streaming camera. I think that'd be fucking amazing.
It's gonna be called the Stream Desk, and it's literally just a desk that is a Stream Deck, like a touchscreen Stream Deck desk.
I'd buy it. You remember the old Microsoft table that was it was touchscreen?
Yeah.
Yep, just like that. I want it. I need it.
No, I honestly, I think that's kind of that's Gato's next move, right? Is the camera?
I think so. Or maybe a keyboard, since they're paired with Corsair now. Like a keyboard with a Stream Deck built into it, like built into the number pad, would be kind of cool.
They are partnered with Corsair, aren't they?
Yep.
A mouse and keyboard combo that has Stream Deck built into it.
Yeah. Or a new capture card that's got multiple inputs, or even DVI inputs would be great.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask. Do you think they're gonna announce any?
I don't think it'll.
Capture cards.
I don't think it's gonna be I really don't think it's gonna be a capture card though. If it was gonna be a capture card, they wouldn't wait until CES to announce it.
No, I think it'll be something like a camera or something, or even like like you were saying, keyboard with the Stream Deck built in would be pretty cool.
I think it's definitely gonna be something different. It's not gonna be a capture card. It's not gonna be another Stream Deck. I think it's gonna be something big. Anything else, they wouldn't have waited to see till CES to announce.
No.
Because when they released the details for their most recent capture card, the one with HDR support, I mean they just announced that on Twitter. Like there was no big press release or anything. They just it was a Twitter post, and that was a fucking game changing capture card. Like HDR support in a capture card is fucking huge. Especially at that price point, $250. Like that's absurdly low.
Yeah.
Now you can get like a Black Magic capture card that'll do that, but it's gonna have a comma on the price tag.
I mean, what's one comma?
Well, a lot. A lot more than I'm looking to spend on a capture card. $250 I can justify to myself. $1,200, not so much.
I don't know, man. I still think I would love to see honestly with CES, I'd love to see a lot more like monitors and gaming monitors adopt OLED technology over QLED.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. Not because even a lot of TV companies aren't adopting it right yet. Which, I mean, LG OLED TVs are fucking beautiful.
Yeah, they really are.
For those who don't know what OLED is, it's organic LED versus QLED, which is basically quantum dot LED. So it's QLED is still backlit, so it's still it's an LED LCD. So it's a transmissive TV. So it relies on the LED backlight, and they produce the white backlight while the LCD kind of shutter array that's in the TVs refreshes at a very rapid rate to then create like your image and your colors and stuff. Whereas your OLED is emissive, so each pixel generates its own light. So there you get deeper colors, you know, and just a more beautiful picture all around. So so each pixel operates as its own like kind of light source and color array. The big downside to OLED is blues kind of die off quickly. So depending on how consistently you're running it and kind of settings you're running on, your blue tends to die faster than any others.
Is that like how plasmas used to get the burn-in? Is that like how plasmas used to get the burn-in? You had like the dead pixels and like half your screen would be pink?
Burn-in caused by just like keeping that same image on.
Right.
And then, you know, you gotta watch something out. Like your kid pauses a movie.
Yeah.
Leaves it on there for, you know, you don't even pay attention, and then leaves it on there forever, and then you go to change the channel,
and you got like the little Nickelodeon watermark down the bottom corner still.
Head plastered on the top of fucking Geralt of Rivia's, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yep.
No, the other one reason I love OLEDs over is it's lighter too. They're much lighter product. Granted, LED is not that fucking heavy. Let's be honest. TVs are nowhere near as heavy as they fucking used to be.
Remember when they used to be like big? You remember the TV that I used to have in my basement? It was like back in like the band days, where the motherfucker was like 5 feet tall and like 3 feet deep.
Yeah. remember the TV that we moved out of the second floor apartment, out of mine and the wife's apartment?
Yep.
Big ass gray fucking box that it was like.
No, that was a CRT. That was a fucking that was a monster right there. That was a fucking unit.
Fucking CRT that was like, it was like a 42-inch CRT, and I was like, we're gonna throw this bitch over the deck.
Yep.
Like I don't care if it breaks.
Yep.
Oh
Jesus.
But no, I OLED technology to me is really, really good. I'd love to see more gaming monitors and stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm sure we will before too long.
Just because the way it looks, man, the way it makes like the colors and the games like look is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right now, pretty much everything is on IPS panels, so. I'd love for it to move to OLED. Think of the fucking like the difference in like color profiles though. Like you go back and play like any game and it's gonna look like drastically different.
Oh yeah, shit. Going back, I mean that was like the greatest thing about picking up some of the new like the HDR, like the LED HDR capable TVs and all that shit is when you start fucking plug in like the Super Nintendo.
Oh yeah.
The Super Mario World, and it was just like the colors were just like.
Yeah, fucking like, pop.
Goddamn Mario, you're red.
Yep. Yep. So I think that about wraps up our CES predictions.
I don't know. CES will be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I love. One of my favorite things about a new year is all the new, like just convention season.
Yeah.
Like CES and E3.
Oh, dude, I can't wait for E3. They're gonna announce God of War 5 at E3. It's gonna be great.
I love it. Tokyo Game Show, just give it
Yep.
all to me.
Yep.
So.
And then before you know it, we're right back at TwitchCon. The important one.
Oh yes, I will be going to my third TwitchCon this year.
You'll be going to your first TwitchCon this year.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm dragging them. I'm gonna stuff them in a suitcase, guys.
Yeah. Stuff me, daddy.
Ooh.
Wait.
So I'll be back to streaming tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Dizzle, what are you streaming this week?
It'll be Tuesday, Thursday, and then weekends. It'll be The Witcher.
Yes. Are you gonna be getting back on Geralt on Tuesday night?
Yep. I streamed it last night for a while. Had a blast. I'm gonna be getting Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Batdizzle. Come toss a
Witcher
coin.
3?
Yeah, Witcher 3.
Wild
The
Hunt?
Wild Hunt.
The Wild Hunt?
The Wild Hunt.
The
So,
Wild Hunt?
Come hang out, toss a coin to your Twitcher, and
Oh, baby.
I'll show you my Valley of Plenty.
Oh, my. All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. Dizzle will be back Thursday or Tuesday. We'll be back for the next Sunday Sizzle next Sunday. And we'll see you guys there. Have a great night and have a great week.